Woo! Okay, man, this YouTube video and channel has just been a hot mess and a long time coming. I've spent a lot of time, more than a lot of time, trying to really think about what kind of YouTube videos I'd like to make, what kind of content I want to bring to people. And I think a good reason for that is because there's a lot of content in this world. We already have, an abundance on YouTube alone, let alone all the different apps like Netflix, Disney, Hulu, ESPN that we can stream from. And that's only naming the big four. There are plenty of others. And then one thing that I've really encountered that really makes me hesitate to share is even beyond one language are the multitude of languages. You have Spanish, you have Korean, you have Japanese, Mandarin, and that's only a portion of the world. You've got all of Europe, you've got all of Africa, and there are just so many different dialects, there's so many different versions, and the idea that, one country owns media is kind of silly. And so when you really start to take a step into that world of learning all these different languages and seeing how big the world is, it can feel very overwhelming. And I think where I've really hesitated to make anything is because there's just so much out there that I kind of question, like, what am I bringing to the table? What makes me different? And why should you be watching? And so I think after all this time, something that I've come to terms with is that you really shouldn't be watching me. There is enough out there that has been said that you could probably go and find it, and after watching just that, have plenty to take with you. But something that I think does give me the credence and why the credentials, if you will, to watch me is that I've watched many videos for you. I've lived a life that you won't live, and you're living a life that I won't get to live. And perhaps there are people who need to see your life, or you need to see mine. And I think that's something that I've really started to notice, and what's motivating me to finally sit down and share is it is not that I'm someone special. It's not that anyone in this world is more special than you. It is that we've all lived lives and that we are bringing that shared experience to each other. And it's through that sharing that value is made. I watched a video that had less than 20,000 views, and it was a girl sitting there just in front of her camera talking about a philosophy. And that philosophy really resonated with me. And so it was kind of a light bulb moment, if you will, where here she is just sitting in front of a camera, deciding to record this idea that she's had and share it on YouTube after, the painstaking hours of editing. And it really hit me of realizing, okay, why can't I do that? I feel that I'm a fairly intellectual guy. I've learned a lot of different things. I've gone to college, I've gotten a master's, and I've explored different countries in the world. And so I feel that I have a very unique and awesome perspective. And so I'm like, why am I not sharing that? And I think something that I noticed with that, and maybe you will too, is that almost imposter syndrome of you start to see where you are relative to all the other people. And I said that I've seen a few countries. There are many people I know who have never left their hometown, who have never left the state they're in, and will unlikely go see different countries. And so if you compare me to them, I have a lot to offer. But when you are in my state where you have traveled to a few countries, you start to interact with a lot of people who have also visited 50 plus countries, who have visited 100. And you start to really feel that you don't really have much to bring because they are so much more experienced. But what I was missing, and maybe you too, is that connect of they don't know the people I know who haven't left the country. They don't know the people I've met who have only been to one or two states or countries. And so even though they've seen more countries than I have, they don't have access to the people I do. And they don't have access in a way that I do. And that to me was kind of a big moment of recognizing why there are so many successful YouTube channels that you may never see. And going along that line of that light bulb moment, I went from the 20,000 view video, and I also then looked up what are the billion view videos. And it was really fascinating to me because the number one video streamer on YouTube I'd never heard of. And it's an Indian music company. And they publish all of the music in India. They publish many videos. And so they get a lot of views throughout India. And that makes sense because India has a huge population. But me not speaking any Hindi or any language related to it, I would never have thought to look it up. And so it was really fascinating to see this YouTube channel that is very successful by all definitions. And I had never heard of them. And so I kind of realized, you know, all these like million view videos, all these people that get all these high ranks, what I realized is for many of them, they're still in a very small bubble. They're still in a very niche market, even if it has 1 million views, even if they have 1 million subscribers. And so I think it really motivated me to say, you know what, like, I don't know who I'm going to impact. I don't know what the algorithm's going to do to maybe show you in my face. But I really was like, maybe someone out there wants to hear from me. Maybe someone out there wants to know a bit more about Japan. Maybe they want to see someone who's starting from the bottom and making their way up. Even if I never do make it all the way up, it's just a fun journey to be on. And I think there is always that appeal of that underdog and trying to see someone who's wanting to make it and getting to see that nitty-gritty story. And so I really hope over these coming months to force myself to continue to sit here, to have you as a supporter in any way. And honestly, something that I really want to resonate with and share with you, don't like or subscribe if you don't like it. I'm not going to ask you to. I'm never going to ask you to. I think there's too much out there already to be good and to watch. And if you really want to watch it again, go find it. If you don't, move on. Like, let your life be lived. Yeah, like, do what you need to do to keep living in that world. But I really want to be a part of that. And if it's just this one video, awesome. And if it's many more, then even better. But thank you for tuning in. Thanks for allowing me to set the stage for these coming videos. And I really hope to see some of you there. So thank you and see you soon.